Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his super guest, Matt, the mortgage guy. We talk every Wednesday. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Mike. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. So there was something that happened on Monday, and we'll talk about it in detail. But I want people to realize that you and I called this 30 days ago, right? We called it the mortgage market. I think you're the one that gave me the stat. Something like 65% of loans had been originated in the last 2 years, either purchase or refi, which just means the mortgage industry is competing on a smaller refi pool. And housing transactions are slowing down. So we both pontificated there would be a lot less people in the business next year. And lo and behold, Better.com CEO fires 900 people over a Zoom call. What a jerk. What a prick. Just not cool, man. I'm guessing, given it's in your industry, you have seen or heard about this.
Right. And the funny part is when Better came along, they're a big tech giant, so they're a competitor, right? Okay. And they're trying to do mortgages. Anytime somebody is a tech company first and then they're doing mortgage, I give them the benefit of the doubt, but then you start to see these companies that don't have a lot of mortgage experience, advising experience, that are just trying to use technology and cheap labor to lower the cost of doing a loan. The only problem with that is then you structure loans incorrectly. Then you're not able to give people the good advice where a mortgage broker goes, hey, based on your scenario, let's not pay any points. You're going to be out of this house in 3 years. Let's structure it this way. You can't do that when it's all tech and all call center. You just can't, right?
Yeah, it's really what Zillow found out, right? They tried to rely on AI or artificial intelligence or technology 2 months and they got burned. They overpaid for stuff. And this is a guy or a company, we'll get to the guy in a minute, but a company that bet on technology in a market that is customer centric, right? You have to be able to understand the client, ask questions. That's why I love it when people call you, whether you were just doing California like before and now national. Everybody that talks to you is like, you ask questions before you give an answer, which is not something you're going to get at a lot of brokerage. And again, why a lot of brokers are going to go out of business.
Right. Mortgage is not a one size fits all product. It is a very scenario specific, one person's needs vary drastically from another person's needs. Their, credit score, loan to value, their goals, what they're trying to do. And you've got to take all that stuff and use mortgage knowledge to give good advice. And so, that's the moral of the story. And, Better.com came along. Unfortunately, business is not always, I don't know what the right word is. They're gobbling up market share and they're losing money and they're offering people fantastic rates. And I'm seeing this play out over the last 12 to 18 months because people look at what I found online. I can get this rate. I can do that. And then 45 days later, 55 days later, can't close the loan, reneged on some of their promises and then jacked the price up on me, or, whatever the case may be. They're, leading with price, leading with the fact that, they've got technology and you don't need to interact with humans, creates a horrible customer experience. It's a really crummy way to buy a house, right? I tell people too,
so there's a couple of things I would tell people on this. First and foremost, if people follow my channel for any length of time, I believe in good karma, but there's also this thing called bad karma. And this individual, this CEO has chosen to go that route. So we'll see what happens over the next couple of years. But the other thing I want customers to realize, people that might be looking at Better.com, if their CEO is willing to do that to 900 employees, I don't think they have your best interest in mind. Those 900 people had loans and processes and relationships and this and that, and the other thing. If they are simply cutting costs and relying on technology and then saying just the nastiest things, right? There are now quotes coming out about what this guy is saying. As a customer, I would not go to a company like that who treats their employees that way. That's
right. Yeah. This weekend, I had somebody tell me hey, it's an eighth cheaper than what you can offer. And I said, listen, for that eighth, you're going to get peace of mind. You're going to get great service. If you want to gamble with the home purchase, they couldn't close loans in 25 days before. They just laid off 900 people. How do you think they're going to do now? And, even before all this stuff came out, I knew this guy was a bad apple. I remember looking into Better.com because they were trying to become a player and they were offering great rates and whatnot. And in past business dealings, this really peach of a guy had told his former business partner he'd burn him alive.
I saw that quote.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's karma's real. This individual has chosen to go a route that it's going to come back. And again, I don't know anybody that should go to better.com to get rates. An eighth of a point is not worth making this guy a little bit of pennies. So yeah, but not cool. And you know what? If I was the board of directors, they're public, right? They just went public via a SPAC or something.
I believe so. It was
So there's a board of directors. He needs to be removed. They need to get rid of this stink. And they need to get, what they should do with him is they should let him go over text. I think that's only one way that's better than text him that you're gone, effective immediately.
You're no longer needed a CEO. As I wrote this, I almost cried. Some disingenuous crap like that Zoom call. That 3 minutes where I've only had to do this once before, and it was just so disingenuous. And then you contrast that with great lenders like United Wholesale Mortgage, where I send business. Matt Ishbia has been quoted as saying, "Before I lay off a single person, I will sleep on a team member's couch." Like, is never going to do it, right? And then implementing stuff where they're able to have some sort of like flex hours. You got kids to drop off at school, your start time is 8 o'clock. As long as you show up by 8:30, you're good. Like things like that versus, somebody who's trying to rule with the iron fist and, you better be productive or your ass is out of here.
You're all lazy, you're terrible, blah, blah. Yeah, it's better.com, not cool. Yeah. Bad karma, man. Bad karma's coming.
He'll get what's coming.
There you go. All right, buddy. How can people reach out to you if they want to work with a great and legendary mortgage broker?
Greatmortgagebroker.com is where you want to go. Me and my team are standing by. We want to help. So you go to greatmortgagebroker.com, you fill out where you're at, what you're looking to do. We'll be in contact. We'll help you in any way, whether that's advice, whether that's refinance, whether that's purchase, anything residential, 1 to 4 units. That's our bread and butter. I think we're pretty good at it. But more importantly, we're really good at giving you the advice, because
you ask questions, dude. That's the key. You're in a business where you got to ask. You're not a doctor to go, "Hey, that hurts. Stop doing that." You want to ask questions because one size doesn't fit all.
Yeah. And a lot of people too, they reach out and the first few questions I ask are trying to get to, not a good idea.
Not a good idea. And that's okay. You're done, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Don't
Don't go down this path, because you start talking to a salesperson, you get somebody who's on a, automatic dialer that's trying to get 150 calls in per day. They're trying to get you to fill out an application. Like, none of the questions revolve around your wants and needs and what's good for you. It's just like, how can I talk you into filling out a loan application so I can meet a quota? Not the person you want to talk to.
Greatmortgagebroker.com.
Correct.
There you go. Thanks, buddy.